We're watching developing tropical conditions in the Caribbean, how they'll affect our area. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Matter. First tonight, tropical lows developing in the Caribbean. Although we didn't see much rain today, there may be more on the way. You're looking live at our tower cam and weather radar right now. Let's get a check on the latest on where this system is right now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob, what can you tell us?
That's the case. It's going to be a big rainmaker for someone along the Gulf Coast region from Louisiana all the way over to Florida. We are going to get some rain from this system, definitely, and depending upon the future path and track and how strong it gets will determine that factor. And it's still too early to tell exactly because what we have is this area of low pressure is right there near the Yucatan Peninsula or possibly even over it at this point. It's a poorly organized system. The shear is starting to lessen somewhat. We're starting to notice some deep convection developing in several pockets, but there's nothing really gathering around an area of low pressure or a centralized area of low pressure at this time. And in its developing stages, a lot of times the low pressure can reform under some of the heavier storms. So it could possibly reform under that cluster of storms. But right now, it has a 70% chance of developing into a subtropical or tropical depression over the next, looks like 5 days. It could possibly get to a tropical storm, but that feature is unlikely at this point due to the fact that it won't have a lot of time, and it looks like the water temperatures are marginal. They're still pretty warm in the central Gulf, but not that warm right near the eastern portion of the Gulf of Mexico. As far as that cone is concerned, it's not really a cone of uncertainty, but this is the area favored for the possibility of development in the next 5 days. And some models, the European in particular, is including Louisiana as the target, while the Canadian model is taking it toward the panhandle of Florida. And also a fairly reliable model, the WRF model, is also taking it to the panhandle. You'll notice a few here along the west coast of Florida. That's the GFS, and that's still showing that way. We'll see if that trends more west with tomorrow's runs, but right now we have to keep an eye on it. This is the GFS as far as the rainfall goes, and you can see its bias is right toward the west coast of Florida. This is Saturday, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then as we move through time, the heaviest rain would be from the afternoon through the evening. And then maybe less storm activity on into Sunday. Now, as far as the European goes, we're going to take it through 6 p.m. Saturday and show you that the center was a lot farther away, but notice still some heavy rainfall moving on into the west coast of Florida at that time. And the European has it kind of hanging out over the northern Gulf of Mexico for a couple of days afterwards. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. Right now, it appears that we're going to see some pretty heavy rain beginning on Saturday. More on the detailed forecast coming up in a few minutes. Jacqueline?
All right, thanks, Bob. We'll talk to you soon. Many Florida treatment programs, including here on the Suncoast, could be just a few days away from some major budget cuts. Around $28 million in state funding could be eliminated for drug treatment and many other programs. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us live from First Step of Sarasota, which is one of the many places that would be impacted, to explain why. Rick?
Yeah, Jacqueline, this would affect a lot of folks. 3 out of 14 places here would be impacted.
It can be pretty overwhelming to try to figure out how to operate an organization when you're experiencing something like this.
What PJ Brooks of First Step of Sarasota is talking about is the nearly $500,000 in state budget cuts that could happen this Friday to his organization. Millions more would be cut from the budget for drug treatment, mental health, and community reentry programs statewide.
The Florida Department of Corrections sent an announcement to us notifying us that they were amending our contracts for starting July 1st to reduce our residential treatment beds by 40%.
This would reduce the men's beds at First Step from 52 to 30, and for the women from 10 to 6 beds. Brooks says that over the year, around 70 people would not have access to this all-important care. Statewide, over 600 people could lose their jobs, including some workers at First Step.
This is not the time for making a decision to cut behavioral health services, to cut substance abuse treatment. This is the time when, if anything, we should be increasing it and every opportunity we could to address those individuals that are dealing with the disease of addiction.
Harvest House and Bradenton Bridges are the other local organizations that would be affected. In all, 11 Bridges International facilities across the state could be impacted. They're a transitional re-entry facility for inmates and a community release center. They would lose 116 employees, and at least 1,000 inmates would feel the effects. In Bradenton, they would lose 84 of their 120 treatment beds.
This should be a public safety issue for folks. addicts don't change and don't recover, and they don't get treatment, and they're only released from prison with $50 on a bus ticket, I think it's unrealistic for us to think that they're going to change on their own.
Florida Department of Corrections Secretary Julie Jones has submitted her recommendation for the cuts to the state legislature. If either the House or the Senate approves the funding cuts on Friday, then it will be official. P.J. Brooks says it's now less than promising to get Governor Rick Scott's help with this.
The governor does not seem to be indicating that he's willing to do anything about the cuts, and it's our understanding that the chairman of the House, Speaker of the House, Corcoran, is continuing to say no, he's going to allow it to move forward.
And we did reach out to Speaker Corcoran, but he did not comment on this. Reporting live from Sarasota this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Jacqueline, back to you.
Okay, Rick, thank you. New tonight, Manatee County Sheriff's deputies are searching for a man who escaped from the Suncoast Behavioral Health Facility in Bradenton. According to the Sheriff's Office, Darren Justice was Baker acted today and then ran away during his processing. Anybody with information on where his whereabouts should contact the Sheriff's Office. The Sarasota County School District is moving forward with creating its own police force. However, the sheriff is moving in his own direction when it comes to school safety. Sheriff Tom Knight is hiring 14 school resource deputies, or what he calls SRD2s. According to the sheriff's office, he believes it's in the best interest of the community to continue recruiting these deputies in case the school district changes its mind or in case local charter schools need school resource deputies. Meanwhile, the school district has already posted positions for a police chief, command staff, and officers. The district is confident that the new department will be up and running before the start of the new school year in August, but this SRD2 program could serve the district as a plan B.
The SRD2s and our school resource officers are relatively similar positions. They both worked 180 days of school, or hired specifically with that mission. I believe our compensation is very close. And so I'm completely confident we'll be hiring our own individuals to staff our department.
According to the sheriff's office, it's unknown what these deputies will do if they are not needed in schools. Starting tomorrow, all middle and high schools in Manatee County are banning backpacks and will have random metal detector screenings. A loaded gun on Bayshore High School's campus is prompting the Manatee County School District to enforce these new security rules. Yesterday, a 10th grader was found with a loaded handgun tucked into his waistband. That teen is now facing charges, but because of that incident, Bayshore High School students were not allowed to bring backpacks to school today, and each student was required to go through a metal detector as they entered school grounds. As a final measure of safety, the school district says armed law enforcement officers will be present on all campuses the rest of the school year. New developments in the case of a Manatee County student who says she was embarrassed by staff members after not wearing a bra to school. The school district replying to the ACLU's complaint in a formal letter today, saying that although they agree the matter should have been handled differently, there was a dress code violation. The district will also change the language of the dress code policy to prevent future misunderstandings. The district also denying the ACLU's allegations that students' right to protest were infringed, saying there was in fact a protest that took place without consequence to those students. The district's letter said in part that they will try to make sure legal requirements for students and student expectations are clearly communicated to all students and school personnel. Well, Memorial Day is the unofficial kickoff to summer, and with that celebration, state police want to remind you not to drink and drive. The Florida Highway Patrol announcing today they will be holding Operation DUI Wolfpack this weekend. Checkpoints will be taking place from 9 p.m. on Friday until 5 a.m. on Saturday. The operation will focus on I-75 and major state and county roadways in DeSoto, Hardy, Highlands, Sarasota, and Manatee County. Remember, if you see a drunk or impaired driver, you should call star 347 to reach FHP. And speaking of the Memorial Day weekend, travel is expected to be up 5% this year. AAA says more than 2 million Floridians are expected to travel for the long weekend. 88% of those travelers will drive, and they'll find gas prices at the highest levels in nearly 4 years, with the national average coming in around $3 a gallon for regular grade gasoline. In Sarasota, we haven't quite reached an average of $3 just yet. According to the Gas Buddy app, the average price of regular gas per gallon in Sarasota is $2.89, and the lowest price of gas per gallon is $2.70. AAA says there will also be higher numbers of people flying and cruising to their destinations.
Our peak travel days are expected to be Thursday and Friday. And you combine that with the folks that are still working, we advise people to plan your travels to avoid major metropolitan areas during the rush hour.
While gas prices are up, the cost of airfare, rental cars, and hotel rooms are actually all down this year. The most popular Memorial Day travel destination for 2018 is Orlando. Well, Sarasota County is kicking off its second sponsored solar co-op. Representatives from the city, the League of Women Voters, and Moat Marine Lab were there to push for more solar energy being utilized in local homes. The city says they're happy to be part of such an important initiative that allows groups of homeowners to install solar panels at lower prices.
And this co-op is going to be one of those powerful options to let the community know that this is out there, that with this collective power, that they too can participate in solar.
It allows homeowners to find out more about solar, ask questions, and then pool their buying power so that the cost of going solar is a lot less expensive than going on your own.
The same media content.
Organizers say the city of Sarasota has agreed to run 100% on solar and renewable energy sources by the year 2045. They hope co-ops like this one will help make that mission happen. Straight ahead, more on the potential tropical cyclone heading into the Gulf and how it'll affect our Memorial Day weekend plans. Plus, an alarming number of sinkholes popping up across Florida because of that increase in rain. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
My life motto is keep moving. And as hard as it was when my husband passed away, I knew I had to keep doing what I love. Oops, coming. But I needed help with my insurance, and that's what the NAIC provides. They have resources to help you and your family make the best decision, and they'll help you to keep moving forward, just like me.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
We had a few showers here and there today, but it looks like the worst still to come.
Yeah, the rainfall could get heavy at times. Now, as far as the systems go, it could go west, could get closer to us. It's still a long way off, but it doesn't appear that it's going to be any big windstorm as we've expected all week long. And it looks like the rain could be a problem as far as flooding goes if it follows the GFS. Which, by the way, the GFS is the only model that really had this as a tropical system about 10 days ago. Moving into the Gulf of Mexico. Now, granted, the GFS does spin things up at times a little much more than the other models do, but nonetheless, it did get that right. A KCK webcam showing a beautiful sunset tonight. Not many storms around today because of some very dry air that has moved on in. Weather headlines read like this: mainly afternoon storms through Friday now. We'll see showers and storms scattered about in the afternoon, mainly in the evening. Maybe increasing clouds as a result of the system down to our south on those 2 days. Heavy rain. It looks to be timing-wise Saturday, and that's going to be midday through Saturday night. That's, again, subject to change. And then rain chances stay high, but they come down a little bit for Sunday and Monday. So we may be able to salvage a day or two with getting some sunshine in there and maybe not as rough weather if everything goes as planned. And if the European model, and it verifies with it, and it's further off, the European still showing a good deal of rain, even into Florida, because we'll be on the dirty side. Nothing like that today, though. Boy, just a line of showers developing along that sea breeze front did produce some locally heavy rainfall at times, especially along I-75. From Inglewood northward up into Bradenton. Some long night lingering showers heading off to the west now along the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. Those will continue to dissipate. You'll notice the rainfall estimates were not all that high across the region. They were rather sparse, to say the least. Well, the futurecast for us taking us through tomorrow morning looks to be okay. We're going to see a few showers off in the Gulf of Mexico, but we should start out okay for a drop off for the kids. Just a couple more days left before that officially ends. And then on Thursday, you may see a little increase in cloudiness. We'll still see those afternoon showers and storms, maybe a little bit more tomorrow due to the increased moisture coming up from the south, and that dry air that we had today is sort of slipping out and moving off to the east. Well, this system is poorly organized at this time, so there's no real threat of it developing quickly. There are several pockets of rather intense storms near the Yucatan Peninsula and off the coast of Honduras. That dry air I mentioned, it was around for a little bit of the time today. Still a little bit of dry air out there. That will thin out, I think, throughout the night. If you didn't see this earlier, our chances have increased to 70% tonight now. That's from the National Hurricane Center of this becoming a tropical cyclone. Could it be a subtropical cyclone? Yes. It could be also just a depression. So we'll watch it as it moves off to the north, especially on Friday. The Canadian model takes it to the panhandle of Florida, the European over to Louisiana, and the GFS, the U.S. model ensemble anyway, taking it right into the west coast of Florida. Conditions will become favorable, and I think this is what the National Hurricane Center is looking at, is that on the favorable side there, the reds and oranges showing up right over the Gulf of Mexico where this system is going to be traversing. So the wind shear in the atmosphere should lessen. Rainfall total forecast. Now this is through Sunday. These will change too depending upon the future movement and path, but right now we're talking about 3 inches. Some isolated areas could get at least maybe 4 to 6 inches of rainfall in some isolated areas. 76 right now. We have clouds. It's warm. It's muggy out there, and winds are out of the east at 5 miles an hour. Of course, all eyes will be on this. We'll watch it closely for you. An early storm, possibly. Alberto, by the way, is the next name up on the storm system. Southeast winds tomorrow turn to the south. For boaters, things will be okay, but not by the weekend. Although we're not expecting a big windstorm, it's going to be tough going, I think, on Saturday. High surf, too, and that will be a problem for rip currents. People going to the area beaches, even on Sunday, those high waves will be coming in. The rain chances possibly tapering off to 40% on Monday, so we may be able to salvage one good day out of the 3-day holiday weekend. Look for afternoon storms on Thursday and Friday. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, thank you. Multiple sinkholes have opened up in Florida, closing streets and endangering residents. Now more severe weather is headed for the Sunshine State, but those sinkholes are not just happening in one area. ABC's Victor Oquendo has more on the growing problem across the Sunshine State.
This area, specifically this neighborhood, just can't seem to catch a break, and all the rain in the forecast is not going to help matters. This big sinkhole opened up right here behind me, and the intersection where it happened still blocked off on all sides. Neighbors tell us that the woman who lives there hasn't actually been home since February, when another series of sinkholes opened up and her house was deemed unsafe. 4 sinkholes have formed in this area in just the past week, and at a nearby high school, a few depressions have opened up there as well. Just a few weeks ago in Ocala, Florida, some 15 sinkholes opened up, forcing 8 families to evacuate their homes. It's no surprise that this area of Central Florida is known as Sinkhole Alley. Just last year, we saw a 225-foot wide sinkhole open up and swallow 2 homes. And a few years before that, a sinkhole formed below a man's bedroom as he slept, and he just vanished into the earth. Here in the Villages, residents are being asked to be very careful and alert the sheriff's office if they see anything that might be a sinkhole. Governor Rick Scott is also warning Floridians about the potential for a lot more rain and flooding expected later this week. Victor Oquendo, ABC News, the Villages, Florida.
Well, take a look at this. A Sarasota couple made an unexpected discovery this morning, a 300-pound alligator taking a dip in their pool. Connie and Frank Schaffery say they were enjoying their morning cup of coffee at their home off of University Parkway and Honore Avenue when they spotted that 9-foot-long gator. An FWC employee was able to remove the gator in about 20 minutes. 3 baby hawks are back home tonight in Sarasota County's Redbug Slough. They were released today after Sarasota County firefighters helped rescue them last month. The birds were taken to the Wildlife Center of Venice, where their mother was treated for poisoning.
Today is the 7th hawk release my husband and I have done this month, of hawks that have been taken in, poisoned or hit by cars or whatever. But today is number 7 this month, in the month of May, that have been rehabbed at the Wildlife Center of Venice and then released back into the wild.
The baby hawks made a beeline for the park's trees, where they are expected to flourish, and I'm sure they are enjoying that. Sports is next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Kimmel's new tonight.
Welcome aboard. Great to have you.
And we're stoked to have Shailene Woodley.
Yeah, it's so excited.
Plus, a Jordan is definitely here.
Which Jordan is here tonight?
Yeah, Jordan Klepper is here tonight. And Blink 182 performs. Kimmel, new tonight on ABC.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Here's today's Job of the Day. ABC7 is seeking a part-time digital media producer to write and post fresh, engaging content to our website. Excellent writing skills and newsroom experience required. Visit mysuncoast.com/job-of-the-day to apply. Now, sports.
Well, the season is over tonight for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Final against the Washington Capitals. A total washout for the Lightning, though. The final score was 4-0. Capitals now moving on to the Stanley Cup Finals against Vegas. Well, taking a knee is now not an option. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell announcing that starting next season, players on the field who do not stand during the national anthem will be subject to discipline. Team owners unanimously approved the rule change. The NFL says teams will be fined if personnel on the field do not participate in the anthem ceremony, but the league has not said how much that penalty would be.
We want people to be respectful of the national anthem. We want people to stand. That's all personnel, and make sure that they treat this moment in a respectful fashion.
Players will be allowed, however, to stay in the locker room during the national anthem without being penalized. Lakewood Ranch High School playing in the Class 8A softball semifinals in Vero Beach tonight after several postponements due to rain. The Mustangs taking on Orange Park Oakleaf, but unfortunately losing their chance at tomorrow's championship game by 1 point. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers straight ahead.
Peterson Toyota of Sarasota offers hundreds of models to choose from. And now you can take your shopping experience to the next level with SRQ Plus. You'll love its added benefits exclusively at Peterson Toyota of Sarasota or toyotaofsarasota.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast restaurant guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
This dog named Jake is back home after missing for an entire year, and he found his way back home with the help of 20 strangers. He was found wandering the streets in a small town in Pennsylvania, but he's originally from Phoenix, Arizona. Through Facebook, strangers volunteered to pick him up on state lines and made sure that he got home okay. A 4-day journey, 20 drivers, and more than 2,000 miles. They were able to find his parents, dog parents, through a chip in his,
dog
it
had to be the chip, yeah.
So quite a ride for him.
and special thanks to all those drivers that helped out. What internet, social media, it works, and it works with that. Really nice. We are looking at some showers and storms scattered about tomorrow afternoon and evening. And meteorologist John Scalzi will have an update on the model runs at Good Morning Suncoast tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Bob, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Have a good one.